I thought I'd do a video on the power of positive thinking because it's been a long journey for me, and I spent a lot of time watching those videos about the power of positive thinking and attitude of gratitude. And I'm not one of those YouTubers who, they've got millions of dollars already. They've already made it and they're like, this is how you make $3 million in a year and a half. I'm not at that point. I'm nowhere near it. But if I tell you the story of the journey and how far I've come, it might give you a bit of an idea of the difference that just thinking differently can make. Because a year ago, just over a year ago, I was dealing with depression, a heavy, severe depression, and I was diagnosed as bipolar, and then I got re-diagnosed as ADHD with severe depression, and that came with anxiety as well. And that depression was like a heavy weight in my chest that was always there no matter what happened. So I was in a toxic relationship, and that toxic relationship ended, and I went down a path where I didn't want to be here anymore, and I took steps to try and escape from this life, and read into that whatever you want, but I was very close to not being here anymore. I ended up moving in with a friend of mine in this room here, and there was nothing in here but a mattress on the floor. I got out of that relationship with nothing but a backpack and enough musical equipment in my car to restart my business, which had also fallen over. So just over a year ago, I was still smoking weed to cope and deal with ADHD because it gave me focus. It does do something. And when you've got severe ADHD symptoms and stress and overwhelm, that had its place. And at the time it was fine until it wasn't anymore, but that's a whole other story. I weighed about 55 kilos. I just wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't looking after myself. I was living in this room, which was just a mattress on the floor, and I had no idea where to start. I was earning about $300 a week. My music business was just a mess. It was all over the place. I wasn't looking after it, I wasn't taking care of it. I just let it go to shit, and COVID had killed it anyway. So it was a matter of rebuilding it, and I was actually doing deliveries for like Uber Eats and DoorDash, and I was earning about $300 a week. That was a year ago, just over a year ago. And I wanted to change my thinking, because I thought if I change my thinking, if I change my thoughts, I change my decisions. If I change my decisions, I change my actions. If I change my actions, I change my outcomes, and I change my life. And so I started watching videos on how to think more positive, and I started journaling every day. I actually went and I thought, what can I do to turn my life around? And if I can do everything that I can think of to turn my life around all at once. So I did meditation, I did yoga, I did cold plunges, I did exercise, I gave up all the drugs, I cut everything out of my life that I could have. I even stopped listening to music. I stopped listening to heavy music. I stopped listening to hip hop, and I started listening to classical, and everything I could think of, journaling, exercise, eating better. And I did it all at once. And I built a whole bunch of frameworks around how I did that, and I will get to those videos eventually. But I just wanted to give you an idea of where I came from and where I'm at now. I couldn't get through a whole day without having multiple naps. I had to sleep. I was so burnt out. I was so overwhelmed. I was so defeated and so done, and no idea where to start. And so I couldn't get through a whole day without having a nap. It took me a long time to recover. I've actually worked 23-hour days now. I've gone for 23 hours straight with an hour in there somewhere for dinner, and that's the only break I had. And I still have plenty of energy at the end of the day. Most days, some days I'm just shattered. But to give you an idea of where I came from, now, if you fast forward a year, just over a year, I've got a great relationship. I've got a great relationship with my friends, with my family, with my parents. I've got a new partner, and we have an incredible relationship. And I'm working on a new business, and I'm working to do some business coaching, and I've built up the music business as well. And so I went from earning $300 a week and struggling to do that. That was a struggle, earning that money. I've just had my first $10,000 month. Now, if you had told me a year ago that, hey man, if you hang on and you do all these things and you put all these steps, and it's just one step after the other, little tiny bits of action every single day, little improvements, little 1% improvements every single day, day after day after day, and you keep showing up and you stay consistent. And I heard someone say today, consistency is the cheat code to everything you want in life. Just keep showing up every day. It's a numbers game. Just keep showing up every day. Keep putting in the work, and the only person you're competing with is who you were yesterday, the person you were yesterday. And as long as you're showing up every day to compete with that person and be better than that person you were yesterday, you start getting to a point where I can work longer now. I can invest in different projects and different ideas and different interests, and I can try different things. And I've got that capacity within myself now to really strive for bigger things. And this is what I was saying in the last video about challenges. And the bigger the challenge, the more you rise up to meet those challenges, the bigger the challenges get, because the bigger the problems you've got to solve, the more people you become responsible for, the more things you become responsible for, the more resources at your disposal. And honestly, it really comes to, I hate being that cliche, but it really comes down to thinking positive. Now, how do you think positive? So I can bang on about it and I can talk about it, but how did I actually do it? Every day I have it in my journal. I go through, I should do a video on how I journal, but there's a part at the end of my journal, at the end of my journaling routine, where I write down what I'm grateful for. And sometimes it's only one thing, and it might be something really simple. Sometimes I'm grateful for having a car. Sometimes I'm grateful for being able to have a bed to sleep in. Sometimes it's my friends. It's the simplest things. You know what? I'm never grateful for money. I'm never grateful for earning this much money or whatever. It's always my friends or the journey. I've been grateful for the journey. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for a beautiful day, and just having those little moments of gratitude every single day, carving out that time specifically to be grateful for things, really cements it in your mind that, okay, maybe things aren't going so well over this side, but over here I've got something to be grateful for. And if you've got something to be grateful for, then something must be going well. And so gratitude, eating right, the better your nutrition, the better you feel. And that's such a simple thing, but the what you put into your body in food and in your brain, so content you watch. So I don't watch the news, I don't really watch TV, I watch a bit of YouTube, but any YouTube I watch is like educational stuff. So what's going into your brain, what's going into your body, that makes a massive difference to your mental health, where you're putting your focus and attention. So look at your nutrition, both for your brain and your body. Gratitude, journaling. And journaling, when I started off journaling, it was like a dirty tap, and it came out like all this dirty water just spilling out emotions, and I'll just write down how I'm feeling, and it just all came out like a turning on a dirty tap. And after a while, that water starts to get cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. And now I start journaling about strategies and ideas, and okay, I'm reflecting on how the business went last month, or comparing it to this time last year, and the improvements, and how can I strategize to come up with a better solution or a better strategy moving forward. Or my journaling is completely different now to what it was a year ago. And so it helps get all those emotions out. It helps process things. It helps reflection. So journaling, gratitude, nutrition, and practice. It's just practice. Being aware of your thoughts, being aware of how you're feeling, because you'll notice that first. I feel yuck inside. I feel drained. And sometimes you just need a nap. Sometimes that's all it is. You can't think your way out of it. You get in a tailspin, and you can't think your way out of that. Once you got that momentum going, that negative momentum, just go and have a nap. Or go and do something you enjoy. Go and hang out with your friends. Do something fun. But it's just so you'll notice you're feeling not real good first in your body, in your brain. You'll feel that, and then, okay, so what am I thinking to make me feel like that? And sometimes it's easier to change your energy than it is to change your thoughts. So go for a run. That's why having a nap works, because you get re-energized. And when you get low on energy, it's easy to get into a negative tailspin and just start spiraling out of control and get that momentum. But it's awareness and going, okay, I'm having a negative thought, and I should do a video on negative thoughts, because they can have their place and they can be useful. But for now, we'll forget that, because you want to flip them to positive. You want to have a positive thought. So you start having a negative thought and you think, nah, I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to think about something else. I'm going to think about the walls, anything else. I'm going to think about what I did yesterday. I'm going to think about what color is the sky. Be present in the moment. Being present in the moment is huge. That's pretty much it. It's just practice. And it's just practice and practice and practice. And the more you can be aware of your thoughts and bring yourself back into the present moment and bring yourself out of that negative momentum, out of that negative tailspin, the more you can do that and flip it to a positive thought, or even a neutral thought. It doesn't even have to be positive. Just think about something else that doesn't have an emotional bearing, doesn't carry any emotional weight. The more you do that, the better you get at it. And then after a while, I still get in a tailspin every now and again, and it'll start and I'll get a bit negative and I'll feel a bit yuck. I'm out of it within half an hour. I'm alright, because I'm even if someone annoys me, I get annoyed. Someone does something that makes me angry or whatever, it's just like, okay, cool. Like, it's that quick now that negativity, depression, anxiety doesn't really have a place in my life. It just doesn't. And if it does come in, it doesn't hang around for very long, because there's no place for it. I don't really have a place for it anymore. And it's just because I practiced so much of flipping that around and becoming more positive. It just goes. It won't hang around. There's nothing for it to stick to. So I know I kind of rambled on. I jumped all over the place a bit. I'm working on the way I structure my goals. I'm working on my whole life is an experiment, which is probably good for you, because you just get the Coke. You don't have to know that I put the money in and I select the Coke and this is what I do, and it comes down the machine and the arm puts it out. You just get the Coke at the bottom. You just pick it up and drink it. You just get the wisdom, the insight, and I'm the one who does all the experimenting and figuring out how the machine works and the best way to do things, so I can just give that to you. So I'm working on a new structure for my goal setting at the moment, which is focused more on input rather than output. So it's not so outcome based, which means one of my goals, one of those inputs is to put a video out a day, or 20 videos, I think it was, in a month. So there might be a few little ramble videos like this that I just don't really know what I'm going to talk about. I just turn it on and go. So I hope you got something out of it. I hope it helps. I hope you're still kicking ass. If you're still watching these videos, you're doing something right, because you're making the change. And even if it doesn't feel like you're making that change yet, trust me, you get to where I am a year from where I was, a year later, like, you look back and just go, I can't believe that was my life. I can't believe I thought like that. Because life gets really awesome. and things get really, really good as long as you just keep showing up, putting in that consistency every single day, and just enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. I'll see you in the next one.